There we go.
There we go.
Second try.
That's it.
Again, Jack, last year after 8 races, like we have done now, you were 7th with 79 points, now 15 with 32. It's obviously not what you expected from 2024.
Definitely not. Definitely not. No, I mean, I put an awful lot into the winter in terms of training, in terms of nutrition, and everything to try and become better, to try and be better this year. And for the most part, this season hasn't started off the way I would have liked. So, in saying that, we still have 12 more races to go. It's 12 rounds, 24 races in total, and a lot more points on offer. So I do firmly believe that we can achieve better than we did last year. Still, I will continue to push till the very end and see what we can do. The bike is step by step getting more and more suited to me. We made a big step in Assen and helped myself to become a little bit more confident, a little bit more as the race duration. You know, we made the step on Sunday morning, and throughout the race duration, I was able to get more and more comfortable with it, understand it more and more, and push better and gain confidence from this. So I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do with that newfound confidence this weekend. Try to build on it and hopefully have a strong weekend.
So you firmly believe, using your words, that you have not lost any speed?
No. I finished last race 9 seconds faster than the victory last year in Assen. Yes, I was still 22 seconds away from Pecco Bagnaia, but that just shows you the pace that everybody is going. My speed is my speed, and it's gotten better and better every year, and I 100% believe that if I can do some more things that I would like to on the motorcycle, then I can go even faster. That's for certain.
So your limit is the bike?
Yes. I mean, I think that's everybody's limit. It's how you set the bike up. It's how you build the bike. And I do believe that, as you've seen multiple times this year, I have crashed while in the group trying to hang in with the guys there. And it's not from being slow, it's from being not comfortable and pushing to the absolute limit every time. And yeah, it's bit us on the ass a couple of times, but it's also the person that's got me to this position today.
I asked Brad before about the last victory of KTM, 2022. Since then, it has not been repeated. It looks like Aprilia. KTM has lost the train a little bit, or is it a mirage? Or is it a mirage?
That's a mirage, because the last victory of KTM was in the wet with Miguel. You know, I think the last 2 victories for KTM were both in the wet. So I don't believe, you know, if the season, you look at the season that Brad had last year, I think it was by far the most dry podiums and most competitive they've been in their Grand Prix career.
So what happened this year?
In and out. Well, the rear tire changed. The speeds have increased incredibly. We went to Qatar in November last season. And when we came back in January, it was November, no? We were in Qatar last year.
Yeah.
We came back in February or March this year, whenever it was, and we were, 1.2 or 1.4 seconds a lap faster?
That's tires.
You think the bike's changed that much in the
it's
space of
impossible.
3 months?
It's impossible.
The tire changed. We know, it's no secret that you get the rubber compound changed. And when we are talking about bikes that we adjust millimeters here and there to gain feeling, when you completely change what is happening, the contact between the bike and the racing surface, this amount, balancing and understanding how you can put the load on the tires and electronics and all these kind of things get turned around, let's say. And this bike is extremely strong. The engine is strong. It does many things super well. So that's why I've never given up hope in this season that we can be there fighting for victories. It's a matter of getting the correct setup and understanding what we need to do to make these tires, specifically this rear tire, work together with this the rest of the combination.
8 Grand Prix means 16 races. It's almost a prior championship, no?
Yes.
Before.
Yes.
And still you are looking for it?
Yes.
So it must be super difficult
Yeah.
after 16 races.
It is difficult for sure, but if you look at how our race weekends go now, there's not a lot of time to try turning the bike inside out or upside down. I mean, you have to make micro adjustments at a time because you need to try to be competitive also throughout the weekend. You have Friday free practice one, where you go to a track you haven't been to in 12 months and you're trying to understand how the bike is working with the base setup, let's say, get comfortable. FP, you are working for 30 minutes, let's say, trying to adjust settings. And I mean, these bikes, you cannot change pivot or this or that in between exits. You are tossing between the two bikes and trying to manage. But then you're at the end of P1, you are throwing 2, sometimes 3 tires at it, depending on the conditions, to try and achieve Q2. And then the rest of the weekend, you're trying to chase your ass a little bit. So it's not the most ideal working conditions, let's say. And then, for example, we have the test in Mugello, which is rained off on the Monday morning. These chances that we get where we really need to work, we've been unlucky, but for sure, I think it's like this.
Changing the point, you are out of KTM for next season. My question is, have you been informed about what KTM was doing, or did you know it through the media?
No, I was informed. I was informed some hours before. Fortunately for me, I was informed by Carlo Panat originally. Because as we all know, Carlo liked to start the rumors before he is the biggest PR officer in the paddock. So I found out originally that Carlo said it on the radio about one, not so much about the other. But anyway, Pitt called me and told me, and that was fine. I mean, I respect them for doing that. They didn't have to, and they did. But anyway, we were working on a common goal, and they found a different route, and that's completely up to them.
Is it fair, or was it fair, or fairness doesn't count in this world?
Fairness doesn't count in this world. At the end of the day, people are spending millions of dollars and they want results. And I mean, you can believe one way or another, but at the end of the day, the results is what's most important. And yeah, we haven't been getting the correct results, but I felt like we were working together on a common goal to try and achieve those results and achieve something better moving forward. And plans change, people change, and I respect that as well.
Last year we spoke in Valencia, and you told me about the bike, okay? You told me, look, if you put in the mirror the KTM and the Ducati, you see almost the same. Meaning that you helped them to develop the bike. So it's kind of, your job is done in KTM, now you have to move forward.
These are your words, not mine. I mean, for me, I brought something across for sure, a lot of knowledge. I brought a lot of things across to the project. What they do with it going forward is up to them, but unfortunately for me, unfortunately for me, it's like this, and I will go forward trying to do the same other places. I mean, like I said all along, I didn't sign up to the project for only 2 years, because I mean, it's like this when you're developing something and you're trying to achieve something great. Ducati didn't achieve what they have done in the space of...
they needed 9 years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, KTM have not even been a MotoGP in 9 years, so... I think they're doing pretty well, and they will continue to get better. But without me in these plans.
I was looking at your CV, 10 MotoGP seasons, Jack, already.
Yeah, long time.
So
Huh?
many. Seems to have been yesterday.
Yes,
Almost.
I know. You don't have to tell me.
And will you be MotoGP rider next year?
My plan is, yeah, I would love to be. I want to be here. I don't see myself anywhere else but here. I feel like I'm still getting better. At the end of the day, I'm also only 29 years old. The problem is I came into MotoGP when I was 19. So people remember me for a long time, but I'm getting
You are not
older.
34 like
No,
others.
no, exactly. But I do feel like I'm getting stronger, both mentally, physically, everything. So I want to be here. I feel if my career ended tomorrow, would I be disappointed? No, because I've achieved more than I could have ever imagined. But I still feel like I am hungry and want to go for more. I want to have more podiums, more victories, whatever that may be, more strong races under my belt before I call it quits.
The other day I spoke with Paul Espargaro's father, and he told me that when he got the news that he was leaving the paddock, Paul called his father, "Dad, come to me, I have to talk to you." And then he was kind of super depressed because he said, "What I'm going to do? Because I have been doing this my whole life." And his father said, "The one who has the right to get worried is a miner who works in a mine,
Yes.
not you."
No. No, exactly. I'm not worried at all. I'm very fortunate. Ruby and we have a beautiful house in Australia. We own our cars. We have everything done. I'm not going to go home and sit on my ass and do nothing for the rest of my life. But we have an amazing jump start into life if you think of a normal person coming out of school and starting a job or whatever. We are very lucky, very fortunate, and I've been doing this 10 years. I'm very happy.
Goosebumps hearing
Yeah.
it. But it's true. You were lucky people.
Yeah, we
Or
are.
you
We
are,
are. No,
not
I
were.
am.
You
Every
are.
day I wake up, I think. And like I said, if it happened to stop tomorrow, these memories I've made, the impact that I've been able to have in the sport is all more than I could have ever imagined. So to say I'm not satisfied with the things I've done, I am satisfied. But I still feel like I can give some more. But if it's over, then it's over. And I won't try to hang on to something that is a dying dream, or you know what I mean? I don't want to be that guy, if you know what I mean.
Couldn't be a soft landing, turning into a test rider, doing 5-6 races, riding the bike. This is something that you like.
No, because at the end of the, I would never say no to the test rider option. But for the moment, I am a racer. I don't ride the bike because I love riding the MotoGP bike. Nobody loves riding the MotoGP bike. It's not fun, you know. I mean, it's fun, but it's extremely demanding on both your body, you know, your mind, everything. And then to do this, just to not have the race at the end of the weekend, you know, for me, the race is the pressure releasing, and
It's interesting.
I'm a racer. There's a reason why I always get good starts, is because I'm built up for that moment that I want to race a motorcycle. That's what I've wanted to do since I was a kid.
Jack, you have been here, MotoGP 10 years, all right? The riding has changed a lot. And you have been adapting yourself. How can you describe the evolution of the riding?
It's changed incredibly since I first came in, you know, where we sit more or less central, or move the ass a little bit to where we are now. Don't get me wrong, when I came in, everybody was touching their elbows and so on, but not like we are today now, where the shoulder is nearly on the ground. I mean, I had to have my suits adjusted after Mugello, because the way I was hanging out of the bike in Mugello, the suit was not fitting anymore comfortable, and was cutting off some circulation, because you are stretching so much further than I've ever stretched in my life while riding a bike. And I feel my style has changed incredible, but when I watch videos of these guys touching the shoulder like it's nothing, the hand off the end of the handlebar, I don't feel like I'm doing it like that, but sometimes when I look at some photos, I am surprised at how I look on the bike.
And obviously the rider seems to have lost, you say in English, protagonism. See?
What's that mean?
Like the
You are less important than in the past. O sea,
yeah, like it's not so much about the rider; it's more about
the bike.
yeah, the engineers has gained against the rider.
like with the electronic.
To a degree, I think it's difficult to say, because in the past there was only 3, maybe 4 bikes on the grid that can win a race, and now we have basically 20, 22 bikes on the grid that can win races. That are strong enough bikes. They are strong enough bikes that they can win races. So then I feel like the rider now is making the difference. There's a reason, don't get me wrong. I mean, Pecco is a fantastic rider, and I think some of the stuff he's doing is amazing, and I think that's why he's still been the last 2 world champions.
So it's not a manufacturer championship?
Don't get me wrong, Ducati, most guys that are on a Ducati are riding very well. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, it's not everything. If you look at what everybody was expecting from Mark, for example, to come across and win every single race, is disrespectful, or not disrespectful, but it's rude to what Pecco has done the last years, because he's riding fantastic. The level of these guys, every one of my competitors, is incredible. They're incredible athletes, and every single one of them prepares themselves in the best way to try and be the best guy on Sunday. So I wouldn't say that it's become more of an engineer sport. It's become more of a rider, because you need to try and find the micro differences to make that next step, to win, to be better than the other guys.
Do you understand the decision of Gigi Dall'Igna by choosing Pecco's teammate?
I mean, I don't. I understand Mark is Mark, and he's extremely strong. Jorge is Jorge, and he's proved himself to be extremely strong over the last years. And I think I'm sure none of us know what is the complete situation of the whole thing, and that is what it is. I mean, we don't know what is happening. We can speculate, you, me, or the media, or whoever, about why they chose him or why they choose him, but we don't know the whole story. So I prefer not to touch on that too much, in terms of I don't know what happened.
So we go back to the non-fairness existing in MotoGP, more or less the same situation. No?
I mean, it is what it is. If you look back to my time in Ducati and the way it was, having polls on which rider will be in the spot next to Pecco Bagnaia has been building. I was feeling for Enea in this whole situation, because people forget who is on the bike, who is riding the bike, and where he will go, and nobody's talking about that also. Yeah. So I mean, it's a very coveted seat, and everyone knows that going there. I mean, the red bike, the red leather, is what many of us dreamed of as kids growing up, to have that as something to put inside the house. But with that seat comes a lot of pressures and a lot of different things. So I don't know. I think it's good for the sport with the way things have shaken up. I think Jorge can do a fantastic job where he's heading, I think, and yeah, it will be interesting to see Mark and Pecco as teammates as well, because if you look back and at the history books, I guess you could say, and see Mark 6 years ago, 5 years ago, and think he will be a factory, let's say 6 years ago, say he will be a factory Ducati rider in 2025. Somebody would tell you were on drugs, you know. So it's very funny, but it's also very cool. I think as a fan of the sport, I think it's fantastic to see Mark, and it will be nice to see him also in the red leathers.
Jack, thank you once again.
No worries.
And we hope to see you racing and not testing.
Thank you. Me too.